My name's Michael Kearns. I'm 49 and I've had problems with my bladder and bowels probably for the last 10 years. I was a manager for Tesco for years and had to leave because of it. Working in chillers, I was a fresh food manager. It just reacted to the problem and made it even worse. I have to go to the toilet at least 50 times a day, and as I say, it's been like this for years. I get an appointment with the urology, maybe to see a specialist once a year. For 2 years they never turned up, and you just get fobbed off with another appointment. My GP's advice was wear a permanent catheter, and that was when I was 48-year-old, and that to me, so then I went on the programme for the gastric band, and it's a 12-month programme, and while I was on the programme I seen the poster, and everything listed on the poster was the problems I have. So I made the call and met Victoria, and she's given me adaptions that I didn't even know existed, and because I drive a cab for a living, it's obviously embarrassing. I worry about long journeys and where I have to go. So she's made my life easier and she's told me more in an hour than urology have told me for the last probably 10 years. What impressed me most about the bladder and bowel service was that they actually recognised my problem. Urology, you feel like you're fighting you feel like they don't believe you, how bad things are. But when I went to the bladder and bowel, and especially when Gary came to the house, and I mean, it's obviously embarrassing when a man's fitting, and he was like, it's like a common occurrence. He said, I've got a list of clients everywhere, young, old, with the same, you just feel like you're normal. I think the staff were fantastic. From the initial meeting with Victoria, she was so knowledgeable, and she showed me so many bits and pieces to make life easier for myself, and she just gave me the confidence. It's like, and Gary the same. I mean, I've only met Victoria and Gary, and I couldn't thank them enough. It's taken me years to try and control it, and it's embarrassing and it's horrible. For years I was hiding it as a grown man. I'd have people tell me there's a patch in your pants where you had no idea that this was happening to you, and it puts you on the brink of despair. I mean, I had a top job, salaried as a manager for Tesco, and I couldn't physically do the job because of the problem, and nobody seemed to care. So it was like a breath of fresh air going to, the bladder and bowel. It was, I can't tell you how. I feel like a weight is lifted, and I just fingers crossed things come into play. Because obviously the next outcome for me is the gastric band and lose the weight, and hopefully that will, relieve the problems.
Thank you, Michael, for your kind words regarding your recent visit to the bladder and bowel service. It took a lot of courage to speak out about such a taboo subject, and we really appreciate your feedback.
Michael, in your story you mentioned about your experience at the hospital under the urology specialists, and hopefully by you raising that point now, we will be able to work more closely with the urology teams and help to improve the patient journey.
If you have received care which has not met your expectations, we would encourage you to raise this with the service manager. Alternatively, you can contact the Trust's Patient Relations team for advice and support. They can be reached by telephone 01253 955 89 between 10 AM and 4 PM, Monday to Friday.